We are back. It's been a long couple of months since I filmed anything. Had a lot going on. I was working part-time at a strawberry farm up until almost the time I went to Europe for 2 weeks with my son. That was a whirlwind trip. And now we are back. It is July, so I figured we'd do a little bit of Christmas in July sewing. So this is, you can see that better. What we're going to be working on, we're going to be working on this book, Home for the Holidays, Quilts and More by Welcome This Quilts and More to Welcome the Season. This is by Sherri and Chlesea. It was printed by Martingale. I'm not sure if they're still in business, but they may have some of these patterns available, especially with their new poinsettia and pearland. I noticed they did reprint a few of these patterns. The one we're going to be working on is Farmhouse Flannel Quilt. Right here, you can see it's just this big giant patchwork flannel quilt. And I'll show you a picture of what it looks like without the cutting instructions. That's what it's going to look like. And she used some farmhouse flannels, probably from the same person that I got. I had this flannel back quarter bundle forever because this picture is very old. This is Primitive Gatherings, Lisa Bon Jean, and this is Yuletide Gatherings flannel. And I have had this probably about 5 or 6 years because I bought this when I first started quilting. And I had big plans to make a couple of quilts with it, and I just never got around to it. And now I'm like, it is taking up space on my shelf because it's flannel and there's like 40 fat quarters, and it's taking up a lot of space on my shelf that I could put other things on. So I need to get it done. And I was trying to look for something that would really utilize the funnel in the best way possible, and I found that in that book. So we're going to be making that quilt. So I've cut all my squares to the pattern directions. We have smaller squares, we have medium squares, and we have extra large squares, all in this flannel. I decided to use for my lights the light grays and the off-whites, ivories, and then for the darks I just chose the black charcoal looking ones or dark grays, and the reds and greens. I mean, that's basically the entire line. If you can see over here, oh, catch there, but that is the rest of my fat quarter bundle. I still have several full fat quarters, and I still have a good bit of fabric. I could probably make another one, or I think I'm going to make a smaller quilt. I have this panel. It's the panel. I'll show you. Because I wanted to incorporate this in the quilt, but some of these, I mean, I could probably get this square in as one of the large squares. But these smaller ones, I would really have to trim down to almost nothing to get them in there. But I think I'm going to just use all the scraps and the leftover fat quarters to make a patchwork, just a simple patchwork, and incorporate these in. so I can get 2 quilts for 1 fat quarter bundle, which will work out well. And then I've just got to get some flannel to back it. I think I have some, but I may have to get a little extra. And then we're off to the races as far as getting these quilts done before Christmas. And I think they're going to be couch quilts, or at least one of them may be a bed quilt for me, because it is freaking cold in my house right now with everyone liking the air down at 70 degrees. So, but that is the plan. So we are going to get started. And I didn't starch this because starching flannel makes it kind of cakey, and they say it can peel. So I just sprayed it with water to kind of get some of the really set in seams, because these have been folded up for like I said, 5 or 6 years out. But so we're gonna start with a look at my directions. While y'all are staring at my pretty fabric. So, so basically we're going to take our our small squares. I'm not going to give the measurements. We're going to take our small squares and make 4 patches. We're going to make 8 4 patches. And then we're going to add those 4 patches with some of these and make 4 patches. And then we're going to do some of these for each of these into 4 patches to make big squares, and then we'll have these big squares. So it's basically just 4 patches. So let's get started. So I'm just gonna start with these. So I'm gonna move all these guys out of the way for just a moment. I'm gonna put my book up here in case I need a reference. I'm just gonna lay these guys down right here so they don't get too wrinkly. I don't have to re-iron them. So we're gonna divide our squares into reds, into greens, into grays, or charcoals, dark grays, and our whites, or lights, which are, I'm going to divide them. I may have to cut more of these. I didn't cut like they said, but I've got scraps over there I can cut if I need extra. So we need 8 4 patches. So let's see here. Let's move some of these so you don't have room to see. We're going to for 4 patch right here. Let's see. I think I'm going to do this houndstooth. I'm trying to mix lights, some with white in it, some with dark in it, together. And let's see here. I think they're all one or the other. So we'll do gray, and then we'll do this plaid. Like that. Tell you what, it's gonna do. And we're just gonna do a random. So we're gonna sew them together. I'll get you over here where y'all can see. sewing machine. Handy. So, just kind of line up the best we can. Didn't cut the best this time. We're close enough. Close enough is good enough for me. So let's get started. This so that we have a dark and a light and a light. We kind of have a good smattering of things here. I want things random as possible. Yeah, the flame crowns. That's a little weird one thing. Doesn't really matter at this point. Got it. So here it is. And we're going to press it. Medium-sized square, which should be around the same size as these squares. Okay. Here they are, more or less. So we're going to do this 8 times until we get 8 of them, and then come back and we will be ready to show you some more. Alright guys, we're back. It's day 2 of working on our Home for the Holidays farmhouse flannel quilt. This one here. So I've got my 4 patches, the small fabrics, small squares cut, and pieced together into 4 patches. And then the next step is to add some of them to these, and then actually do some of these into 4 patches so they all come out this size right here. So I'm about to do that, so follow along. So let me see how many I need to do. Let me just check my pattern here. It says layout 2 4-patch units, 2 medium-sized squares, and make 4 double 4-patch blocks, so just 4. And then we lay out the remainder of our 4-patch medium-sized squares to make 4 patches. Simple enough. This one's gonna come together really quick. Probably could do this one in a single day, cutting start to finish if you wanted to. I would think it would be really easy. And just kind of lay out my lights, my darks, let y'all see, kind of lay out everything. So we'll take one 4-patch, and we'll take a different one, like this, and then we'll see what we come up with. So this, do we want red or green? I'm thinking red. Okay. show you here. Here, 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 here. And we're going to sew all these together, and I'm going to get all these patches made, and then we'll lay it out and we'll get it sewn up. So stay tuned. Alrighty. I have sewn all my 4 patches together and then patched them up in rows of 4 by 5. Quilt 60 something by 80. And here it is. I don't have a lot of good light today because it's cloudy out, but just want to show you what it looks like. It's not completely like the pattern. These 4 patches were supposed to go in a certain direction down the quilt, but the last 2 rows I kind of messed them up. But it's pretty random, so it's not something that's going to really show up. And now I just got to figure out what I want to quilt it as. So I'm thinking a snow theme, or this is our new little guy, if you want to know. This is Mr. Mac and Cheese. He's growing, and he's also getting into trouble, which is his middle name. Mac and Cheese. No, you don't need the remote. Mama, take the remote away from Mac and Cheese. But back to our quilt. Here it is. It will get pressed before it gets quilted, but right now there's really no need. It's going to get folded up and put away until I get to do it. My plan is probably do it around October, and that way I can actually take this, because it is Primitive Gatherings fabric, I can take it with me to my Primitive Gatherers retreat I'm going to in December, and I can use it on the bed because it is going to be Wisconsin and it's going to be cold, and that way I've got a nice warm flannel quilt. I know they do their own, they have their own quilts on the beds, but this way I'll have one that's a little warmer, because I do get sensitive to the cold now. But yeah, so this was really easy. Like I said, you could probably do this one in a day, including the cutting, because it really didn't take me that long to cut. And the original pattern shows yardage for the large blocks, but you can get 1 out of fat quarter, so you wouldn't need, you could, this is completely fat quarter friendly. Like I still have, I will show you, I still have a lot of leftovers from this fat quarter bundle right here. I've still got a lot of whole fat quarters, and I also have some good 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 inch, 9 inch, 10 inch pieces. So this is definitely something, if you've got flannel, I mean, you can even do it in cotton. If you've got something that's wintry and cozy looking and you just want to make a cozy quilt, this is definitely a very simple way to use up some fabric and make something that's really cozy. Like, I really just want to cover up with this right now. So, and it came from this book. May still be available somewhere. It is Martingale, so it's out of print, but there may be some available. Like I said, Sherri and Chlesea have been releasing a lot of these patterns as individuals because they got the rights to them. So you can check on their websites and see if they have them. But you can also just do this yourself. I'm not giving the measurements, but you can just, you know, you need 1, 2, 3 size squares, and then you put them all together and they make the larger square, and then you just put all them together. So it's something that you can do yourself, but the pattern makes it a lot easier, and I highly recommend using the pattern because that gives the artist credit. So here we are. Say bye to little Mac. He's helping with our showcase here. He's about to jump on the quilt and cause problems. But
All right, guys.